Hey folks, John Ferguson Smart here. I got a question recently on where does BDD fit with regard to the test pyramid. Now the testing pyramid, there are quite a few variations of it, but the general idea is that we have different levels of testing, different levels of automated testing in particular, and depending on the level, you want more or less tests if you want a nice, well-balanced test automation setup. For example, you want more fast, quick, responsive unit tests that are very precise, and fewer integration tests and even fewer UI tests, because these are the longest to run, the longest to write, and the most likely to be fragile. So you want a lot of unit tests to get a broad coverage of your functionality, and as you go up the pyramid, you get fewer tests with these tests that are bigger, chunkier, and span larger bits of the functionality. So that is the general idea of the testing pyramid. But where does BDD come into the picture? Do BDD scenarios all fit at the top level? Should all BDD scenarios be implemented through UI testing? Well, that's actually a big anti-pattern in the BDD world. BDD scenarios, how do you describe this? BDD scenarios are separate, they're orthogonal to the testing pyramid, which means that they can actually intervene at different levels. A BDD scenario is a business-facing scenario. That means that it represents a piece of business functionality, a business rule, a piece of business logic, and it's written in a way to demonstrate or illustrate to business folk or product owners or even testers who are coming to the application, to the project later on and need to understand. It's demonstrating to them what the functionality does in business terms. Now, how do you implement that BDD scenario? Well, maybe it's a UI scenario. Maybe it's through a microservice. Maybe it's through a unit test. Maybe it's at a unit testing level of code. Maybe you have some business logic that can be directly exercised at the code level very quickly. Maybe you do need to show a flow, a user journey through the whole application with the screens. It will depend on the scenarios. Each scenario will be different, but there is no direct relationship between your BDD scenarios and a particular point in the testing pyramid. You can have different BDD scenarios implemented at different levels. So hopefully that clarifies things, that explains what the relationship is between BDD and the testing pyramid. Thanks for listening, folks.